Africa is facing no shortage of conflicts or challenges, either man-made or natural. But UN Chief Guterres believes reinvigorated cooperation between the world body and African Union can play a significant role in helping the continent surmount them.
Our own objective is to make Africa overcome its difficulties, to make Africa a continent of hope, to make Africa a continent of future, to make Africa a pillar of the world in which we live, not seen as a problem, but seen as an opportunity.
One recent challenge was the presidential election in the Democratic Republic of Congo. The result was disputed, and the man many believe came in a distant second was inaugurated as president. But the handover of power went off peacefully in that country for the first time in 60 years. Guterres says all parties in the DRC should now work to move the country forward.
But we consider that what's important now, after the elections with the new government, is to create the conditions for inclusive dialogue among all parties and to make sure that we have a transition of power that allows for the country to move ahead, and will be supporting the country to move ahead.
Across the continent, Guterres said the United Nations is committed to a surge in diplomacy for peace to complement the AU's push to end conflict on the continent by 2020. He noted progress implementing the peace deal between rivals Salva Kiir and Riek Machar in South Sudan, and this week's agreement between the government of the Central African Republic and several armed groups. He also welcomed the recent reconciliation between Ethiopia and Eritrea as an important example of the potential for diplomacy.
We see in many other areas movement in the right direction, and we are totally committed to work together, the African Union and the African sub-regional organizations, to support this wind of hope, to make sure that the African continent is able to achieve its goal to end conflicts by 2020.
When the UN chief travels to Addis Ababa this week, he will be taking a message of the UN's commitment to Africa's peace, stability, and development. Margaret Besheer, VOA News, the United Nations.
We need different missions for different contexts, including peace enforcement and counter-terrorist operations.